Hey, good morning. Just going to share a few more thoughts from the Proverbs series. So this is chapter 20. And it seemed like to me as I was reading through chapter 20 or listening through that the theme that stood out to me was God's concern with the inward heart of man. And there's multiple verses in this chapter that talk about the inward heart of man. And it starts in verse 5 where he says, "Counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out." And it continues in verse 9, "Who can say, I have made my heart clean, I am pure from sin?" And so there's this inward idea of God and us being aware of our inner self and our inner spirit. And down in verse 27, it says, "The spirit of a man is the lamp of the Lord, searching all the inner depths of his heart." And right behind that in verse 30, it says, "Blows that hurt cleanse away evil, as do stripes the inner depths of the heart." And so it really emphasized to me the importance of being mindful of our hearts, because we know that out of the heart the mouth speaks, and we know that with our words we can do incredible damage to people and to relationships and to our lives. And so there's this idea that we need to take extra special care to give attention to knowing ourselves and being aware of the parts of our lives that need attention and need fixing, and then be honest enough with ourselves to then confess those areas to the Lord and then put real intention into making some changes there. And ultimately it says in verse 6, "Most men will proclaim his own goodness, but who can find a faithful man?" Right? It's kind of echoing the idea that you hear in verse 31 or chapter 31 of Proverbs, where it says a faithful wife who can find, or an excellent wife who can find. And it's the same idea here. Who can find a faithful man? It's a rare thing, right? And so this takes me back to verse 5, where it says, "Counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out." And this is oftentimes not just true of us when we're talking to somebody else, because we would think, hey, if I'm talking to somebody else, if I have understanding, I'm going to draw out from that person what's inside of them. But it's true of also ourselves, right? Am I able and willing to draw out from myself the real issues that are going on in my life and in my own heart? And so, like I said, that was what kind of stood out to me today in my going through Proverbs chapter 20, was just the importance of being super aware of my inward heart, recognizing that, the real issues in life stem from my willingness or unwillingness to deal with my heart issues before God. Thanks. Hope that helps and is an encouragement. Have a good day.